The codes for identifying Yu-Gi-Oh cards was not always as streamlined as it is today. It took Konami no less than 5 years to figure out exactly how they want to codify sets as well as the cards that inhabit them, and even then there was a lot of discrepancies. So that brings us to the topic of today's video, the esoteric special releases of LOB to Invasion of Chaos that not a lot of people know about, that collectors now call the EN releases. So in this video we're going to be talking about every single set that has this special EN code, where they come from, and how much rarer are they compared to the regular unlimited release. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, before we start, this video is going to be completely nerding out to the lost history of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I don't think a lot of people will care about. This video I know will do terrible and it's going to cost me a lot to edit, but I don't care. I wanted to get it on the airways and make sure that you guys have this information because I feel like a lot of the cards are actually really slept on. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to support the channel directly, you can shop at strictlysealedinc to pick up your own arcane sleeves that I make myself. They're the highest quality sleeves on the market in my opinion, and they bring a brand new look to your collection. I also have booster box protectors, high-end binders, and if you want to support me even further, I have a Patreon that gives you exclusive access to a small section of our Discord that allows you to see sales data from channels all across the web, including eBay, Fnatic, Heritage Auctions, etc. For $5 a month, it's great value and you'd be directly supporting the channel so I can put out more videos for you guys. But anyway, huge plug aside, let's get into the video. Alright, so what is EN and why is it significant? So during the inception of the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG, Konami separated America from Canada as well as Europe and Australia. The way that it did that is by the set code. The beginning of the set code was pretty much standardized across all regions. It would be LOB for everything. So in Australia, for example, it would still be called LOB. The only difference is what comes in the second part of the code. So there they would add a prefix to the number of the card. So for an example, the card Trihorn Dragon would be receiving in Australia the code LOB-A 000, while in North America it would be LOB-000. In other languages, the LOB would be translated. So for example, in Canada it would be LDD, because in Canada it would receive a regular LOB shipment to the English speaking regions, and then it would receive a small LDD allocation to the French speaking segments. But even the French Canadian is separated from the French France, because that one is LDD-F and then the Canadian one is LDD-C. Obviously the C representing Canada and F representing France. Obviously you can see that this gets very confusing, not only for like the collectors and the people who are buying these cards, but the distributors as well as same region distributors. Like for example in Canada, they have to deal with two different shipments with completely different set codes. This confusion lasted the whole Duel Monsters era, so from Legend of Blue Eyes all the way to Ancient Sanctuary, and it was put to bed with Soul the Duelist having EN as the code for both North America as well as the UK and every other country that speaks English. There was no more LOB-E, there was no more LOB-A or any of that. Pretty much everything was EN across all English speaking regions. The only exception is Asian English, but I don't really want to get into that. I made a whole separate 3-part video for Asian English. You guys can check that out in the playlist at the end of the video. So let's go back to why EN existed and why it's special. So like I was saying, LOB to AST did not have the EN treatment. However, there was a special batch of these cards that were released after the release of Soul the Duelist, and it came only in special products. There was no booster boxes of these cards, and that's what makes them so rare compared to regular LOB Unlimited, for example. So what are the products and what cards actually have EN? So the first product that I want to talk about is Master Collection, because it checks off a lot of the booster sets. Master Collection is a big golden binder that has 6 booster packs on the inside. Each of these booster packs is distinct with a special UPC, and each each of the packs on the inside is guaranteed EN cards. It is one of the few places that you can get LOB, MRD, MRL, and LON cards, and it is the only place that you can get PSV and LOD EN cards. Now, the reason that I say Master Collection is not the only place to get EN cards is because LOB, MRD, and MRL came in a special blister called Forbidden Legacy. This big blister had one of each of the 3 booster packs, as well as one promo pack that had one of 3 variant cards: a secret rare Blue Eyes, a secret rare Dark Magician, and a secret rare Kuribo. These 3 booster packs in Forbidden Legacy are guaranteed EN cards as well. Having said that, you should be recognizing that LOB, MRD, and MRL are not as rare as something like PSV and LOD, and that's actually reflected in the aftermarket. LOD EN cards, for example, can reach as high as first edition LOD in some cases. These EN cards are incredibly rare because there's only one booster pack that has this wave of EN cards, and this booster pack can only be found in a $300 to $400 promo binder, while things like LOB, MRD, and MRL can be found in 2 places, and the Forbidden Legacy blister pack is not quite as expensive as the Master Collection. But those 3 sets are not the only exception. As I mentioned earlier, LON also had a special EN release, and that is the Tactical Evolution Special Editions. So in both the North American Special Edition blister as well as the European Special Edition box, both have one single LON booster pack, and this booster pack guarantees EN variants on the inside. But these ones have a special exception as well. Because they were released alongside Tactical Evolution, they have pretty much completely different card stock and card look compared to the other sets that I mentioned earlier. Even the LON EN that comes out of Master Collection is vastly different than the LON EN that comes out of Tactical Evolution. The card quality is much lower on the Tactical Evolution, and they are known to have serious quality control issues. So I would say the holos from the LON EN from the Master Collection actually fetch a higher premium than the LON EN from the Tactical Evolution Special Editions because they just match the rest of the set a lot better. But LOB to LOD are not the only sets that came in EN. There is actually 2 other sets that have that, and they are Dark Crisis as well as Invasion of Chaos. Invasion of Chaos came in one special release, and that is the Force of the Breakers Special Editions. So you can get IOC-EN cards from both the blister pack from North America as well as the Special Edition box from Europe, both of which having EN cards. Invasion of Chaos has a very special premium to it, and the main reason is because there are a lot of Chaos collectors out there. There are people that collect every Blackluster Soldier variant, every Dark Magician of Chaos variant, and every single version of Chaos Emperor Dragon. So the holos from this set fetch quite a high premium compared to the other EN cards, but I don't think it's on the same level as something like LOD or PSV because those ones come only out of one single product. But that's Invasion of Chaos, and last but certainly not least is Dark Crisis, which arguably has the rarest EN cards because even though it came out in special edition products like Invasion of Chaos, like Labyrinth of Nightmare, this one was exclusive to Europe only. The only way to get DCR EN packs is through Gladiator's Assault special edition boxes from Europe. And even though something like LOD or PSV had only one product releasing it, just like DCR, the fact that Master Collection 1 was released in North America and the Gladiator's Assault Special Edition was released in Europe makes a huge difference. The printing quantities is vastly different. Europe printed a lot less of its product compared to North America. I mean, Master Collection you can still find all the time available to be open on eBay. Gladiator's Assault Special Editions from Europe are incredibly difficult to find, and that makes DCR EN cards to be the rarest of all ENs. I don't think a lot of people know about this yet though, so I think the premiums for DCR EN cards is not that high compared to something like Invasion of Chaos, which has an already established collector base. So that pretty much wraps up the vintage EN sets, but before we end off, I want to touch on one last little nuance that happened in the past 2 years, and that is the special release of the 20 25th anniversary LOB to Invasion of Chaos. So for the quarter century celebration, they pretty much re-released LOB, MRD, MRL, PSV, DCR, and IOC. And for the first time, for some reason, out of all the reprints of LOB that they have done, this is the only one where they put EN onto the set codes. I'm not sure why they did it. However, it's very distinguishable from the vintage EN sets. And that's because the holofoil stars, the holofoil attribute sign, the bigger text box, all of that, this is a completely different layout for the cards. Doesn't have the same vintage feel that the other EN cards have. I do want to acknowledge them though, because I do think they hurt the identity of the original EN cards. Before 2023 happened, a lot of people really chased after those EN cards. A lot of people tried to build master sets. A lot of that has died down because of the re-release here and how they diluted the identity of the other cards. Again, to me, it doesn't really matter because they look completely different, and I could easily see a vintage EN card compared to a modern reprint, but I can see why some people would have gripes with it. I do wish that they just stuck to regular LOB like they have reprinted over and over again, like in 2010, 2013, 2017, where they basically reprinted LOB from scratch in the Legendary Collection, but they made it as just regular LOB instead of LOB-EN. One last thing that I want to touch on is if you go on TCG Player, for example, you will find that LOB-EN is like that worldwide edition, even though Master Collection and Forbidden Legacy are North American exclusive products that were never released in Europe. Even though they are EN, and yes, it is the worldwide distribution code, it's actually a North American release. But that's pretty much it. That's the comprehensive guide on vintage EN, why they are special, why they're significant. Let me know if you think the reprints have hurt the identity of these cards. Do you think that they're not worth collecting anymore? I know a lot of people were hurt by it, but to me, I think as long as you can visibly see the difference like right away without having to nitpick, I think it's okay. I don't mind it that much. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As I said before, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and support me at strictlysealed.com or patreon.com/strictlysealed. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.